Welcome back everyone to the Footy No Nonsense No Farce channel. I've got a little beauty for you today. And where nonsense and farce ranks, out of all nonsense and farce, we've got a right beauty for you. And it's one of the main stars. He's always going to be one of the main stars on this channel. And it's Gary Neville today. He's actually, even though he's talking about one game, and one prediction, he actually says a couple of absolutely nonsensical and farcical stuff regarding this one game. So he's talking about the return game in the Carabao Cup, where Spurs take a 1-0 lead to Liverpool. So of course we now know what happened in that game, because I'm recording this video the day after that game happened, and we of course know what happened. But if you don't, stay tuned, because we're going to talk about the result after I play you a little clip. Me reacting to this little clip of Gary Neville making his prediction, his bold claims. Gary, come on, Gary, let's hear it.
I'm feeling pretty good about my predictions at the moment. You know, I've got
feeling quite good about his predictions. I mean, as far as I know, the only time he ever gets any predictions right is when he says Arsenal are going to win, because he's admitted he wants Arsenal to win the title. And not only that he wants Arsenal to win the title, he keeps saying they are going to win the title. But also, so when he predicts Arsenal to win, and they win, he gets one right. And also on the minor or rare occasions when he predicts Man United to win, he gets some right. So I don't know what the hell this guy's on about. More nonsense and farce. I mean, there's hardly anything that ever comes out of this guy's mouth other than just utter nonsense and farce. But he's great for this channel, because he's like one of the main stars of the show. You know, he's the star of today's show from start to finish.
I think Tottenham are going to get a draw.
You see what I mean about nonsense and farce? He thinks Tottenham were going to get a draw. I know it's easy for us to laugh about it now, being the day after the game. But, I mean, I've even spoke to Tottenham fans before the game, and even most Tottenham fans didn't think they were getting a draw. Most people predicted they were going to get a hiding, right? The Tottenham fans are quite nonsensical and farcical most of the time as well, especially the way they celebrated after winning the first game 1-0. I mean, they won the first game 1-0 with like 5 minutes to go. And they celebrated it as if they'd won the Champions League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Premier League and the boat race all at the same time. The fans celebrated it. And that was nonsensical and farcical. But yeah, Gary Neville, I think they'll get a draw. I mean, based on what the hell is he basing that on? This is why he talks nonsense and farce. If you could give some logical reason, but anybody who's watched Spurs lately, right, they've got an absolute ton of injuries. They've just got another player ruled out with an ACL injury for the rest of the season now. I can't pronounce his name. But anyway, I'm not really interested in Spurs' injury crisis, but I was interested in people analysing what they thought a prediction would be in this game, because Liverpool have got no injuries other than Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a big one, right? But luckily it's only short term. But Liverpool have got probably one of the best backup right backs in the world. And I don't mean he's one of the best right backs in the world yet. I mean, he's the best out of everybody's team who's their second right back. He's the best out of all of them. There can't be anybody who's got a number 2 right back that's better than Conor Bradley. So it doesn't really massively, dramatically affect Liverpool, like in a negative way, if Conor Bradley's available. So basically it was a full strength Liverpool team with a full strength bench. And even had the luxury of totally resting Alisson, because Kelleher is, in my opinion, is just as good as Alisson. I honestly nowadays don't see any difference. So this is a full strength Liverpool team against a Spurs team who concede goals for fun. Liverpool put 6 past them in the league game there. They concede goals for fun of everybody. I think they've lost more games. They've lost more games than Everton and Ipswich, I think. It's how on earth Gary Neville come up with it. We're going to go to Anfield, and everybody knows, even if you hate Liverpool, right, even Man United fans will tell you this, going to Anfield on a night game under the lights when the crowd it particularly when the crowd know they're behind. It's even worse than if Liverpool were leading 1-0, because the fans go there in a bit more jovial type of sense and more expectation, you know. But when Liverpool are down and they've got the return game at Anfield under the lights with that crowd in there, I mean, the thing is, Gary Neville's played in that times, but Gary Neville talks. I'll tell you why he talks nonsense, because he talks about what he wants to happen rather than what he really thinks will happen. But the guy's paid millions of pounds a year by Sky, and God knows what all the other work he does, the overlap. I mean, he said this nonsense on the Overlap USA, the USA version. All this millions of pounds he's paid to be so-called giving his professional opinion, not what he wants to happen. Everybody knows he wants Liverpool to lose every game and he wants Man United to win every game. But, I mean, any fan could say that. He's on there paid to give his professional analysis of games and opinions and predictions. And those are just absolute, total tosh. I mean, Troy Deeney and Paul Merson are probably the only ones on his kind of level for such utter nonsense. But Gary Neville is like on UK TV and now USA TV, one of the star guys, the big main star pundits. So I don't know how he keeps getting these jobs. I don't get it. I mean, I'm not joking. I would do a better job than him. And people are saying, oh, you ain't played the game. Yes, Gary Neville was a really, really good top draw right back. And I was crap at playing soccer. That's why I was never a professional soccer player. But I genuinely believe I understand not tactics of in-game, how players know what positions and that to be. And of course I couldn't know that. I've never been a professional player. But looking at it, just because we're fans and we haven't played at the level that he has, doesn't mean that we could do a better job analysing or talking about it. And definitely predictions, let's put it this way. Put it this way, I could definitely predict games better than him, and 100% predict Liverpool games better than him. And so even if you think it's funny that I'm criticising him, have a listen to what his own co-partner on the show, Jamie Carragher, says. Obviously, I'm a massive fan of Jamie Carragher, a great Liverpool player, but I criticise him because he talks a lot of nonsense and farce as well. More with Carragher, I think it's the overcompensation. He tries to unbiased his opinions. So he's biased to Liverpool, that he wants Liverpool to win. But rather than show that he wants Liverpool to win, he does the exact opposite of Gary Neville most of the time. So he'll say, oh, I think Liverpool will get a draw, when he should be saying, I know Liverpool will get a win. In fact, in this game, he did actually predict Liverpool would win it 3-1 and go through. But sometimes when he talks about Liverpool, he's a bit overcritical, because I just think he doesn't want to come across as too biased. So sometimes he says nonsensical stuff. I mean, not sometimes, to be honest, he says quite a lot of nonsensical stuff as well, Jamie Carragher, and it does wind Liverpool fans up. But anyway, on this occasion, have a listen to Carragher, what he thinks about the whole summary of Gary Neville's prediction, because there's another beauty coming up still here, yeah, and then you're going to see what Jamie Carragher says about it all afterwards, and it's funny.
I've just got a feeling Tottenham could win the Carabao Cup this season. And
he definitely, he's not his normal self when his Liverpool's involved. You do know he predicts Liverpool not to do anything, and he has done for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, so I think you'll agree that was a whole lot of nonsense and farce, summed up well by Carragher, putting Gary Neville in his place on his own show. But yeah, so as I said earlier in the video, we do know now what the result was. Liverpool hammered Tottenham 4-0, and basically it was men against boys, really. Liverpool completely dominated the game from start to finish. I think Tottenham didn't have a single shot on goal. Liverpool just absolutely, totally hammered them from. I mean, it could have been 8, and that's no exaggeration. So yeah, Gary Neville thought it would be a draw. It was 4-0. Could have been 8. Should have been 8. Liverpool are in the final, so Tottenham will not be winning the Carabao Cup. Gary, again, you've got it wrong with your total nonsense and farce.